Sitaviye Hemeva Garusu Prane Sudrahitaviyam Satcham Vataviyam Seime Dhamma Guna Pavatitaviya Piti Susitaviye Hemeva Garusu Prane Sudrahitaviyam Satcham Vataviyam Seime Dhamma Guna Pavatitaviya चपड़ेन लिखितं लिपिकरेण चपड़ेन लिखितं लिपिकरेण Sheninna saupetitu gavezemahan Friedrich Malka keshita mechsher Sheninna saupetitu gavezemahan Friedrich Malka keshita mechsher Dain zeh makhal kullahum menashin wa kullahum medushiya hovet ubkhul elkem rem siti dain zeh makhal kullahum Etakhasina Zenale Mehazehul Lahum Menashin Etakhasina Wazinul Naya Ahadin Ille Enashin Petisabat Decaiton Plereton Basilios Piodases Euseben Edexen Tois Anthropoes Decaiton Plereton Basilios Piodases Euseben Edexen Tois Anthropoes Que pototo Oisebesteros Tus anthropoes Epoesen Caipanta Eotene Catapasangen Tus anthropoes Epoesen Caipanta Eotene Catapasangen Kaya pagatai Besilios Emsachon Kei habechatai besilios emsachon. Kei habechatai besilios emsachon. Kei hoilei poi digantropoi. Kei hoilei poi digantropoi. Kei hosai teriotai. Kei hosai teriotai. Elias basiligos pepontai tereotes. Elias basiligos pepontai tereotes. Elias basiligos pepontai tereotes. Ion dhau alipi devanu priyana Priyadasinaraya Lekhapita Iyom Dhawalipi Devanam Priyana Priyadasinaraya Lekhapita Iyom Dhawalipi Devanam Priyana Priyadasinaraya Lekhapita Idha nakinchi jivam aradhitum prajuhataviyam Idha nakinchi jivam aradhitum prajuhataviyam Idha nakinchi jivam aradhitum prajuhataviyam Bahukam hi dosam samajam hi pasati devanam piyo priyadasi raja Bahukam hi dosam samajam hi pasati devanam piyo Priyadasi raja Ati pitu ekacha samaja sadhumata Devanam priyasa Priyadasi norayo Ati pitu ekacha samaja sadhumata devanam priyasa priyadasino rayo pura mahanasam hi devanam priyasa priyadasino rayo pura mahanasam hi devanam priyasa priyadasino rayo anudivasam bahuni pranasata sahusani arabhisu supathaya anudivasam bahuni pranasata यदा यौधं लिपि लेखिताति एव प्राण आरभरे सुपाथाय सेगज यदा यौधं लिपि लेखिताति एव प्राण आरभरे सुपाथाय इमानि जातयानि अवधियानि कटयानि सडुविसति वसगविसितेन मे इमानि जातयानि अवधियानि कटयानि सडुविसति वसगविसितेन मे इमानि जातयानि अवधियानि कटयानि सेयथा सुके सालिकागलुने चकवाके हंसे नंदी मुखे गेलाटे सुके सालिकागलुने चकवाके हंसे नंदी मुखे गेलाटे जतुकगंब कपीलिका गळीग नटिकमचे वेदलेयके गंगा उपुटके संकुजमचे कपट सेयके पन्नससे सिमले संडके ओ कपिल्डे पलसते से तकपोते गामकपोते सवे चतुपदे ये पठि भोगं नो एति न च खादियति एडकावा सूकलीवा गभिनीव पायमीनावा अवधिये एडकावा सूकलीवा गभिनीव यमीनावा अवधिये पतके पीचकानी आसोमासिके पतके पीचकानी आसोमासिके वधि कुकुटे नो कटविये वधि कुकुटे नो कटविये तुसे सजीवे नो झापे तविये वधि कुकुटे नो कटविये तुसे सजीवे नो झापे तविये दावे अनठाये पेतविये दावे अनठाये विहिसाये नोझा पेतविये जीवेनो पुसितविये जीवेनो पुसितविये जीवेनो पुसितविये सर्वत विजितं हि देवानं प्रियस प्रियदसिनो सर्वदा विजितं हि देवानं प्रियस प्रियदसिनो सर्वदा विजितं हि देवानं प्रियस प्रियदसिनो एवमपि प्रचन्ते यथा पशुचिकित्सा द्वे चिकित्सकता मनुष्यचिकित्सा पशुचिकित्सा निचयानि मनुष्योपगानि च पशोपगानि च सुधा निचयानि मनुष्योपगानि च पशोपगानि च यत नास्ति सवता आरापितानि च उपापितानि च एवमेव मूलानि च फलानि च यत नास्ति सवता आरापितानि च उपापितानि च यत नास्ति सवता आरापितानि च पितानि च पान्तेषु कूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं पान्तेषु कूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं पान्तेषु कूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं पान्तेषु कूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं पान्तेषु रूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं पान्तेषु 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 कूपा च खानापिता व्रछा च रूपापिता परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं परिभोगाय पशुमनुसानं Pasumanusanam, Pasumanusanam.
We are here at this incredibly beautiful forest with Professor Nayanjot Lahiri to once again have a discussion about Ashoka and ecology. Not something that you'll usually connect with a monarch, with a king. But before we go to Ashoka, please tell us where we are and why we are here.
So we are here, as you said, to record this conversation on Emperor Ashoka and ecology. And I thought this was really an appropriate setting because this is the Mangar Bani, the forest of Mangar. It takes its name after the Mangar village, but it's actually a forest where the land comes from three villages. There's Mangar, there's Bandhwadi, and there's Balyabas. And it is a forest that has survived because of local people.
Wonderful.
My own relationship with Mangar actually goes back to the early 1990s. So I was doing a survey with a couple of colleagues on settlement sites. And it was like a village to village survey, and Mangar is marked on the map. And so we came into Mangar from Dhoj, and it was like a little oasis in the middle of all these Aravali hills.
Yeah.
And then we came to the Bani. We were brought by a person of the village who then told us the history, and that something like this existed still on the edge of Delhi was actually quite remarkable. From the point of view of the settlement work that I was doing, just ahead of the village, at that point, there used to be a big lake, and very close to the lake, there was a spot where actually pottery could be found in the fields. The mound had kind of got cut up, but there was pottery there which belonged to, let's say, the 3rd, 4th, 5th centuries of the Common Era.
Wow.
So, this Mangar Valley in the midst of the Aravalis clearly has existed for a very long time. And I don't know how long the history of the forest is, but the fact that there are people here from the village, people like Sunil Harsana, and supported by environmentalists like Chetan Agarwal, who have managed to save it. It's still not recognized as a forest, but to save it in terms of a no construction zone, where what you're seeing here, nobody can construct here, is just remarkable. So I thought, I said Emperor Ashok is a remarkable emperor in terms of, it's quite rare to find an emperor talking about animals and forests and saving all of that. And it's equally remarkable that you have at the local level villagers who have actually saved the only surviving natural forest cover.
Ashoka and ecology, like you just said, they're not two words you will connect normally.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, earlier too, you have sung the words of Ashoka.
Yes.
Where ecology has figured.
Yes, of course.
You've talked about, you sung the words which pertain to the Dhamma Yatras and the Vihara Yatras, and how the Vihara Yatras are being replaced by the Dhamma Yatras. The words that you have now sung, which are specifically related to the environment and ecology, how do you see, your earlier singing in relation to this?
So, as far as the edicts are concerned, or the contents of what he's saying, I think one difference is that there he is talking about the yatras and the Dhamma yatras instead of hunting or the hunting escapades, the royal escapades of hunting. Here he's also talking about what he expects of his people, of what he expects of his land, on how animals should be treated in his land. So there is this communication that he's clearly putting out there, saying that I want compassion not to be only something that's concerned about human beings, but also about nature, about the trees, about the animals, about the birds, and about how people should treat them. I think that is kind of a movement that you see. It's not just about how I behave, but it's also about what can we expect from people. So there is a very clear, almost an order from the king saying that, don't kill these species, eat less of meat in some manner. So I think that is very different in tone and in intention than what he was saying before, where he was more talking about how he had transformed. So this whole connection, I want you to respond to this connection between self transformation as he sees it, or he sees himself, and expecting that transformation from his people, right? Making that both a political and a spiritual kind of a journey. How do you see that? Because that is unusual.
When you look at all the, things that he's asking or he's telling his people to do, at one level, it's hugely dictatorial.
Yes, exactly.
So if you think about, you're going to be singing the Afghanistan edicts, and
Yes.
we're coming to that, in a minute. But if you think about it, he's saying that, well, I am not eating meat, and hunters have stopped hunting, and fishermen have stopped fishing. It's complete.
Probably untrue.
It's completely, I mean, even those in Afghanistan who heard those words would have taken it with a large pinch of salt. It's just not on. So I think there was a sense that, you're protecting living beings and you are protecting their habitats. But what about the people who depend upon the forest? And surely there must have been a pushback from, and there is, in his famous Kalinga edict, there is a sense that he's threatening forest dwellers. But tell me, as you've sung these words, there's something extraordinary about some of these edicts, which, for no other reason apart from their contents, they're in Greek and Aramaic. You were insistent that you wanted to sing those. So how have you dealt with that?
So, I mean, when I first saw, say, the Magadhan Prakriti edicts, it was a language for which I didn't have a musical sound. You had a certain sound of the language, of the words, which I heard and I learned. Because as a singer, language is also a body of sound creation. And how does something translate into music? How does the syllable move? How does the consonant move? How is the vowel going to help? All these are things that you kind of do very naturally. With Prakrit, it was a language I didn't know, so I had to use a lot of listening time to kind of evolve something. This is one stage of the problem. In the case of Greek, yes, I was able to get people to recite the Greek edict, and since Greek is a language of continuity and still spoken, some amount of connections are still there. Though, of course, scholars will say that we don't know whether it's exactly pronounced the same way. Now, Aramaic is a completely different problem because it's a lost language. In fact, I struggled for 6 months to find any scholar who was willing to attempt to recite them and send them to me. So we were truly looking for scholars who could try and recite them. And they all said, we're going to use today's understandings of language to try and recite them. It's not going to be the way it really sounded or have any semblance to it because we don't know. So here is a problem where you have a language that does not have even a linguistic sonic body to refer to, right?
Yeah.
So it is much harder to imagine the language first and then imagine a sound. Yes, the sound probably has resonances of languages of that region. I'm not a linguist, but I can understand their words. But you're still completely picking up something that we have no clue about. How do people talk to each other in Arabic? We don't know. So it was fascinating that I had to find somebody to give it a shot. In fact, the person who sent it to me finally, he said, look, this is just a kind of an interpretation of how it sounded. We don't know how it sounded. So that was a real challenge. And then, what kind of music do you put it to? Do you recite it? Do you put it to tune? So those were also areas where I had to think very deeply about it. Maybe some parts could be just voice recitation, some could be a little bit of tune. At the same time, the same issue of creating melody out of it. Where do I take liberties, for example? I don't know where to take liberties, right?
Everything is in prose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So already we're working with prose, which is not technically supposed to be sung.
Yeah.
And then we are saying we don't know what this language sounded like. So it's a fascinating challenge. And but I think it also creates a new musical language, if I can say that, because you're now dealing with sounds that you are not accustomed to. You don't even know how they move, and then you're trying to imagine the movement. So it's a fascinating intellectual and emotional quandary, because you have to feel the music also. It's not just about the sound. So how does one make somebody feel in a language that we don't know how it even sounds? So, which is why I insisted, because I wanted that to see what did it mean to sing in a language that nobody has a palette for, a sonic palette for. It's fascinating to think about it.